Hello and welcome to DK Vine Done Slow. I'm Hyle Russell, and this is still Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Now, last time I defeated Baron K. Rulenstein in Castle KAOS, and that takes us to this nebulous stage of the game where the main plot is over with. And, well, why don't we just jump into it? So as you can see, no save state today. I'm thrust back onto the main VCR screen, and Castle KAOS is complete. So let's head on out. You can see we got the exclamation mark signifying that yes, even though the game booted us out of the save file when we defeated Baron K. Rulenstein, it did count it as complete. So let's go really quick before we get into the lost world of Crematoa. Let's go down and talk to Baffle Bear, the only reason he's here. Of course, I don't know if you've ever really thought, or not Baffle Bear, excuse me, Blunder Bear. I always confuse Blunder and Baffle because Blunder just seems like he's baffled that he's giving the game away. Blunder Bear, excuse me. So you notice Blunder, he is positioned right directly south of the rocks, those 4 compass point rocks that mark where Crematoa sunk. So the game tries to visually lay it out for you what he's talking about, but still can't find the Lost World. You're obviously not going around the rocks fast enough then, are you? Right, that's it. I'm leaving. You're not getting any more clues from me, so there. So yeah, let's go unearth the Lost World. Now, this is a weird point in the game because when Donkey Kong Country 2 set up its Lost World, it was kind of baked into the natural ebb and flow of the game. You had the club as kiosk stationed in every world after the Gangplank Galleon, but before the Flying Croc. And so chances are you already knew about the Lost World before you even beat K. Rool. So you knew what you were still working towards is getting to the Crocodile Core, the Kremlin source. Here, the Donkey Kong Country 3 doesn't really do a great job of explaining things at this point. Because at this point, Donkey and Diddy have been found. KAOS has been overthrown, or at least exposed as a fraud perpetuated by K. Rool. So it's like, what are they really doing here in the Northern Kremisphere? Still. They've got whispers of a Lost World. And yeah, you could have raised the Lost World by then. By this point, but I don't know. I just don't feel like DKC3, for everything it does well, I don't think it really explains its end game well. Because until you raise the Lost World, you don't even know what bonus coins are for. It's never explained to you. This thing that you collect in every single level. So anyway, let's go around the rocks fast enough, if I can here, without hitting everything. Hitting things. Yeah, I'm screwing this up. Just need to get a couple good. There we go. Yeah, you get a little bit of the Gangplank Galleon medley there. Why does that play? I don't really know what that signifies. I guess it might suggest, hey, K. Rool's hiding in here. This is where K. Rool fled to. How did he flee there if we hadn't raised it yet? I don't really know, but all right, we'll just roll with it. So this is the Lost World of Crematoa. Actually, let's talk to Blunder really quick. Blunder, not Baffle, and see what he has to say now that it's been raised, because this is basically all he's good for. So you found the Lost World then, have you? Big deal. You'd have never found it without my invaluable help. So we didn't see it on this save file, on this representation of the adventure of Donkey Kong Country 3. I believe if you never talk to Blunder and you raise the Lost World, if you raise Crematoa, he will accuse you of using the Donkey Kong Country 3 Player's Guide, which I really like. It's one of those things where I think after I beat the game, just trying all the different various alternate paths you could have taken, and so I was like, I wonder what Blunder would do if you raised Crematoa without actually talking to him, and that's what he says. So this is the Lost World of Crematoa. Actually, you know what, before I'll talk about the Lost World, but we should probably restock on lives since the game booted us out. We lost our live stockpile, even though Baron K. Rulenstein did kind of burn through some of those. So we should, at the very least, replenish it, because these are the hardest levels of the game. So anyway, I will talk a little bit more about the Lost World as I do this. So Crematoa, it's never really contextualized what Crematoa is. Obviously, there is the pun on Krakatoa. You know, it's a volcano, presumably believed to be dormant, although we later discovered maybe isn't quite dormant. Anyway, I guess it erupted long ago, and it sunk the volcano itself, and then within the volcano, underwater, civilization, or at least nature, still persevered. I don't really know. Again, they do a pretty substandard job of explaining what the end game of DKC3 is. And Chris is in the chat and says his submarine probably helped with the fleeing mind, and also brings up a point I wanted to bring up. Is Shark Food Island also a sunken volcano? They've got a similar shape. And it's funny how I don't think I ever made the connection between it and Shark Food Island until I was getting ready to promote this stream, and I was like, you know, they are very, very similar. We never see Shark Food Island actually raise if you input the stop and swap codes in Banjo-Kazooie on the Treasure Trove Cove sandcastle floor. You never actually see any animation of Shark Food Island raise. It's just already raised when you exit the sandcastle. So yeah, I don't know. Seems like a similar fate befell both Shark Food Island and Crematoa. Crematoa is much bigger on the inside. We'll talk about the mechanics of exactly how Crematoa works and why it probably shouldn't work in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, replaying Donkey Kong Country 3 for this DK Vine done slow. God, come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. For this DK Vine done slow run, it's really re-upped my admiration for the game. I absolutely adore Donkey Kong Country 3. I think my faith in it and my fandom of it were rewarded. I'm terrible right now at aiming. I think going around the rocks really just did a number. Holy shit, come on. Come on. Come on, kitty. Yeah. I'll get 30 lives and then we'll head back into Krematoa. But as much as I have reaffirmed my complete admiration for DKC3, I do think where it definitely pales in comparison to its console predecessor is that it kind of just falls apart at the end. When I say it falls apart, the levels are still good. right? The actual Crematoa levels are good. But once the main plot line is resolved, it doesn't really do a good job of explaining what the point is. Because at this point, we don't have the gyrocopter. We don't really know what the end game with the banana birds is. So you're just pretty much operating on this faith that there's more, you know? But I don't know. It's not as enticing as explore the lost world of the Kremlings, where Kremlin life first formed, you know? And then too, you know, if you do it diligently, if you go through all the Lost World levels that you can, you only have one Lost World level left after K. Rool. So it's kind of this like this. Well, we might as well. We're here. You know, we've rescued Donkey Kong. K. Rool's presumed to be dead, but we might as well check this out. And Cranky also is really egging you on with the video game hero coins. So there's impetus to keep going. Here, I'm not sure why Dixie and Kiddy don't just pack it up and go back to Donkey Kong Island, where presumably Donkey and Diddy have already left for. So, Boomer's Bomb Shelter. So really quick, I can't move left. There, you see those boulders blocking the map screen. So this is one of the few times where Donkey Kong Land influences Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Land also utilized very similar looking boulders. I don't believe they're the exact same models. I haven't made a comparison, but they used boulders in, I think, the first two worlds of Donkey Kong Land, where you could take alternate routes on the map screen, but you'd have to pick which boulder to blow up, and you would get bombs within the levels. And, you know, you could blow up both boulders if you went back and got the bomb twice. But yeah, this is one of the times where they have boulders blocking your progress, and it's a lot less dramatic here. It's very linear. There's no picking and choosing. But got Boomer's Bomb Shelter. Let's talk to Boomer Bear, the last Brothers Bear in the original Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country 3. Not the last Brothers Bear, because the GBA remake would introduce Bachelor. There's Boomer. Hello, Boomer's a name. Blowing things up is my game. The rest of the folks have stuck me up in here. Something about me being too dangerous or something. My brothers might be happy with those dull bear coins, but I'm only interested in gold ones with B on them. If you hand me 15 coins, this beauty will be primed and ready to blow. Then you'll see why they call me Boomer. Because I was born immediately after World War II. I think it would be more interesting if they would call these coins Boomer coins then, right? Because, I don't know, like, why is Boomer interested in just the bonus coins? He's greedy, I guess. Munitions, explosives cost a lot of money. Anyway, you notice we only have 74 bonus coins, and that seems wrong somehow, because 75 bonus coins is the grand total, or Krem coins in that case, but the equivalent to bonus coins, were the grand total in Donkey Kong Country 2. So it's like, am I missing one? No, we're not missing one. There's still bonus coins to be had in Crematoa. This isn't just the end of the story as far as bonus coins go. So, I don't know. Like I said, the structure of everything post Castle KAOS feels a bit off. It feels a little bit underbaked, maybe. You would think maybe at this point you wouldn't need bonus coins after you bring the hull to Boomer. Like, there's more bonus coins in Krematoa? Yeah, apparently. Anyway. No way, you crazy bear. I see, saving up your coins, are you? What for? Spend them here while you can. And yes, what for, considering you can't use them anywhere else. Let's talk to Wrinkly. Let's save in the save cave, actually. She's awake, everyone. Why don't they make games about knitting? Says Wrinkly. Yeah. FHE Atherin says Bachelor Bear's name implies the rest of the brothers Bear are married, which is implausible. And then Chris says, so that's just interesting. The idea that Crematoa is sunk because the brothers Bear just hate Boomer. Snapple Apple says, spite and anger are the best reasons to sink an island. Alright, let's actually give Boomer what he wants. Well, actually, the Boomers have been getting what they want for decades, and it hasn't gone well. Nah, I'm joking. Let's do it, Boomer. Alright. 4 of Boomer specials. Only 4. And so, yeah, you feel like, oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing a bonus coin. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. So there's still a boulder. So you're like, where's the last bonus coin? I need to destroy 1 more boulder. Well, there's more than just 1 last bonus coin. Let's see what Boomer has to say about it. By the way, Kongs, did I mention that my last special cost 25 coins? But hey, it'll definitely be worth it. So that's what I'm saying about it just feels inelegant, a little inartful, this end game, because artificially they're like, well, we need to give the bonus rooms some purpose in Crematoa, so let's keep bonus coins going, and then let's artificially inflate the last one to 25 coins. It's just like, they could have just had another bonus barrel somewhere in the main crux of the adventure, and then could have just had, like, the bonus barrels have hero coins, DK coins again. Or, like, if you want to keep coin going, then just have coin be in the bone. I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. It's ultimately not that big of a deal. I'll save what I just did, sure. Yeah, you're on your last life, sure. Oh, actually, there's 2 boulders left. Never mind. It's to Rool, I guess. Well, the lake. Anyway, yeah, there's still a lot more bonus coins left to get. And they also kind of break the structure a little bit because you're expecting 2 bonus barrels or bonus rooms in each level. It's a little bit more than that, so let's go to Stampede Sprint. And look, can we just point out that this was a volcano, a sunken volcano, but there's still like living, thriving plant life, forest, rainforest, temperate forest. How is that possible? I don't know. Geothermic heat and light that filters in through, I don't know. So yeah, here we are in now already, like, if you didn't see the bonus barrel there, you see like no squawks, no squitter, so you know there's chicanery afoot. But all right, so one of these nasty little collect 15 bananas where you have to maneuver around stubborn, immobile enemies. Sometimes you just have to let them go, because if you chase everyone down, you might not have enough time to, yeah, actually get them all. So sometimes it's just like, whatever, I'll let them come to me. Alright, so now we have 15 bonus coins, and yeah, there's a second one. That's where they get you, they trick you. And you just really have to keep Squidder's webs going. too painful. Squitter can be tricky to use, though. He's my favorite animal buddy, but there's a steeper learning curve for Squitter than there is for the other animal buddies. All right, so you get the K. And I'm gonna use Dixie here because you kind of have to. And you turn into Ellie. Oh my god, and there's Perry. Oh my god, we're just seeing everyone here. Except Guard and Quawks. Okay, so what's the gimmick? Well, it's Stampede Sprint. So, yep. And of course, we want to keep Perry alive. Oop. So I'm probably going to screw this up. The run's not so bad, actually. Cuff and Clout got me. The run's not so bad. Once you memorize the patterns, it's pretty straightforward, but it takes a couple of attempts, some trial and error. What's interesting about it being Stampede Sprint is, of course, Ellie was going to be a rideable mount in Donkey Kong Racing, which evolved into Saberman Stampede post-buyout, so it's a little bit of foreshadowing of the much ballyhooed hyped project, for our fan community at least, that never actually saw the light of day. Probably our most mourned, abandoned project in both iterations, although Donkey Kong Racing for sure is the version we will lament more than Saberman Stampede. Saberman Stampede was always just the consolation prize. We were like, well, we're not going to get Donkey Kong Racing, but it could still be something cool. So just the promise alone of a game that came out of that DNA. Alright, hey. Not so bad, but here I've got one shot. One shot, or else I have to replay the level. 15 bananas. And I have to keep Perry alive. See, I'm not even going to attempt those, because those will just lead to ruin. If the timer's ticking down and I don't have enough, then yeah. Oh, come on. They're just doing it now to... Okay. Got it. Did it. Done. Whew. That's the most stressful feeling, is when Perry becomes the bonus barrel. And I thought like I was done with those, and then I realized, oh no, there's one more in the game. And of course, then Perry gives you the keg, so you have one shot at getting this right. Uh-oh. They don't make it too hard for you, though, so. Alright, that's Stampede Sprint. And what did I just get? I just got a cog. Remember the little silhouettes from the save cave? We'll go demonstrate. Oh, and Wrinkly's asleep now. So that's what those, that weird little gear mess is in the corner there that you never really know. Now we're starting to fill that out, the last unexplained collectible in the game, so. Snapple Apple says, if there is light and the volcano is giving off enough heat, then plants can thrive and adapt over time. Plants can evolve and adapt to those conditions given time. So let's talk to Boomer again. Is that a cog you've got there? I mean, I guess. You know, I reckon it'll fit on this strange box, which has been here ever since I moved in. Pop it on and see what happens. So I like that, like, this cabin was already here. Boomer didn't even build it. The last person who tried that hasn't landed yet. He blew them up. He's got murder in his heart. That guy. All right. So yeah, it is for the last level. It's not just for K. Rool. All right. The cogs are for K. Rool, but you would think then you would use the bonus coins to blow up the. You know what? I'm not going to question the logic of Crematoa anymore. Except, look at the sky in here. So we are in a cliffside level inside the volcano dome, and we got crisp, sunset-y kind of skies. Maybe it's early morning. I don't really know. I don't know if we're facing east or west. So, and yeah, that's a bazooka firing down there. If you didn't know, you can't see it there, but that is a bazooka down there. And yeah, that's the gimmick of this level, is bazookas are firing up. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to sacrifice you, Dixie. Grab 15 bananas. Yeah, they really like to grab the 15 bananas. So this is gonna take some time because I'm not very good at this bonus level. Fortunately, they put you down right here. So I'll sacrifice a Kong, go back in. I think you can do it without sacrificing a Kong. I'm just bad at it. Dixie's probably more nimble for this anyway. Ah, got cocky. I like when they just keep spawning on the same side, the exact same spot. Makes me feel like I'm better at the game. Oh. Oh, I got cocky again. Hey, I actually did it that time. Now I have both Kongs in here. Not that that really makes any difference. Except I'm gonna have to switch over right away. I really like the green, the cliffs. Look, it almost gives the impression, and I don't think this is what they're going for, but it almost gives the impression that there's like algae, or like, not algae, but moss growing on the rocks. And, I mean, it might be algae considering it was under the lake. I don't know. Wow, I'm almost out of time. I didn't really screw that up, though, so that's weird that I ran out. I guess because the randomization factor, they weren't spawning on the same side often enough, and I just ran down the clock. That's kind of cheap. Oh. Yep, put on the coffee. We'll be here for a while. It's fine. I'm getting better at actually getting over there without losing a Kong, though. I keep switching back over to Kiddy, and I don't need to. Of course, if I did it as Dixie, then that's when I would get hit, so. Oh, come on. Now I'm worried about the clock, and so I'm being more reckless. There we go. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I do appreciate how unnecessarily jazzy the bonus theme music is in this game. I mean, they're all sort of like that in all of the Donkey Kong games, but this one in particular is just like do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. It's like, why? We did it. It's done. So let's go back up and experience Crisscross Cliffs. Not to be confused with early 90s hip-hop duo Crisscross. So yeah, this is basically what you have to do. You have to rotate between steel kegs, which you can traverse upwards on, and TNT barrels, which will remove buzzes in your way. I think it's a fun gimmick. I think it's a fun idea for a stage. And yeah, it can take out red buzzes too, which you wouldn't think it would be able to, but... I enjoy the confidence in the team here. You know, they've established all of these mechanics that, you know, already build on the structure of what came in the first two Donkey Kong Country games, and to a lesser extent the land games. And they're just, I don't know, pulling the concepts as hard as they can, the stuff they added to it. They're pulling on them without breaking the structure of Donkey Kong Country. I admire that in a way. Like Stampede Sprint, Ellie has a panic attack because of the rats, and so she flees through the entire level. Here you're using bazookas and the already established ability to toggle between their ammunition to advance through the level. I don't know, I like that kind of stuff. So here we can't go back down because there's a barrel there, a blast barrel, so we can't, a barrel cannon, excuse me, so we can't go back down, so we have to find an alternate route. And I just got taken out by a recoil. How pathetic. And I just got taken out by another recoil. I like how the unlimited ammunition of TNT, gunpowder barrels coming at you didn't take them out, but some busted ass Tigger wannabe was enough to do it. Ah. Yeah, the whole cliff archetype. Why am I struggling with recoil so much? Anyway, it's underrated. It's an underrated archetype in DKC3. I think whenever anybody lauds Donkey Kong Country 3's levels, you get the underwater coral beds, you get the waterfalls. You don't often hear people talk about these, but I think they're pretty spectacular in an understated way. I mean, they don't shit. Why is that recoil? All right. And I think that's it because there's not any like necessarily much of a wow factor. It's just, oh yeah, they look nice. But I think combined with Eveline's music, it really makes for something that gets to the heart of why Donkey Kong levels just work. And that's just, sometimes you just want to be a celebration of nature. And we haven't really seen much in the way of this type of level in Donkey Kong games. Like anything that has a more arid or Western, that's American West feel to it, Southwest, doesn't often factor into Donkey Kong. And when it does, it can feel a little bit atypical, a little bit out of the norm, a little bit off-brand. I think it works, though, here. Yeah, I'm just avoiding the recoil since apparently I'm just completely unable to take them out. Alright, so which side do I want to be on, if any? Is there anything happening? Nothing happening on either side. That's odd. Alright. Gotta check every little nook, little alcove, little side area. Ow, Cuff and Clout, you got me. Oh. Alright. Oh, we're talking about the doormats of the Brothers Bear in the live stream chat. Chris said, I went and looked at the Brothers Bear doormats because I'm a very normal person, and I think if you turn them sideways, it's like teddy bear, plus sign, teddy bear. What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I have to see this now. Okay, I can't make out anything there. I just see a furry, like, shag carpeting doormat. Like, maybe I see a silhouette of a teddy bear. But I think we're seeing shapes and clouds here, people. I'm not like arguing with you. But sometimes a doormat's just a doormat. Then again, after the stream is over, I'm definitely going to be looking at every screenshot I can. It's a pity there's not a... I don't think there's any high-quality renders of the Brothers Bear cabins. Damn! That same one got me, but from the other direction this time. At least it's not a recoil. No, don't... Well, whatever. It worked. The nice thing about this level is you can fall a great bit. It's a vertical stage, so I don't know what's worse. The Cuff and Cloud are probably worse because I've never been good at trying to gauge their movements. Og. I spelled Og. Oh, so many recoils. Oh, my worst nightmare today. Oh. What? I found the coin, everyone. Haha. Yeah, I'm coming, Dixie. Alright. I thought I saw it. Alright, bash the baddies. Okay. How do you want me to do that? Oh, God. This sucks. This sucks. I'm trying to think. I guess I think the easiest thing to do is start from the top and then bounce back up. I might have missed my shot here, though. Nope, got it. Got it in the nick of time. Whew. Okay. I'm moving so quick here. That's odd. Well, that's one way to get rid of him. Alright. Yeah, I think there was a little hiccup there where we were getting the kegs going up even though I didn't hit a switch. I don't know. Oh, damn it. I thought there might be a invisible... Oh, I got all the bonuses. Okay, never mind then. Again, I don't know what to expect here in Crematoa, so I guess I can just push forward to the end then. I don't need to worry about going off the beaten path because I got the coin. So just be as straightforward as is possible in Crisscross Cliffs. Getting better at avoiding the clasp, but the recoils are still giving me a headache. Oh, okay. This one moves slower though. Oh. Almost got away. Cool. Alright. Kiddy looks so happy getting that cog. Chris says, the doormat is definitely Bluster Kong in a go-kart. I see Chris just listened to the most recent episode of The Conversation, where I ranted for an unnecessary amount of time about people seeing imaginary Kongs in the backgrounds of the Super Mario Brothers movie posters. I don't have your coins, boomer. Always a boomer, always thinking about money first and foremost, rather than the betterment of the world. Not all boomers are like that. I know there are boomers who have stayed true to the ideals of the 1960s, the late 1960s, but too many boomers sold out, man. Tyrant Twin Tussle. So it's funny because I just got done talking about how Cuff and Clout, I wasn't so confident with Cuff and Clout as baddies, evading them because their jumping patterns are so unpredictable, irregular. Well, here is a whole level built around Cuff and Clout, which sounds like euphemisms for pubic hair. But no, it's these burly... I don't even know what to describe them. Can we just marvel at Cuff and Clout? Because we have not been able to do this yet here in this DK Vine done slow run of DKC3. So Cuff and Clout, they're not part of the lineage of buff, muscular Kremlins. We're just going to watch Kiddy just hit his head on the cave floor. Because we have Crusha, who's the most iconic from the original Donkey Kong Country. And then we have Cruncha, which is just Crusha in pirate duds, right? Then we have Crumple in this game, who's not related to Crusha, but he's supposed to be the next stage in that progression. Like, here's your next big bad muscular Kremlin that the Monkey Kongs will not be able to stomp on. These don't fit that. They're just other muscular Kremlins, and their gimmick, of course, is they come in two, twin magic. And they're a little bit more rotund in the gut department. It looks like they have what's commonly referred to as steroid gut, where when somebody is taking supplements to gain a certain jacked physique, they will get this very bloated belly. That's what they look like. It looks like they're on the gas, man. They're interesting characters, and they wear leather gloves. This is the Mark Stevenson school of Kremlin design, which I know a lot of Donkey Kong fans don't like, but I can't help but admire. Because it is something completely different for the Kremlings in this game. And I think that it works. I wouldn't want it to become the gold standard of Kremling design, which I think is mostly at the hands of Steve Mails. Gave them the look that they have. That works as well as it does. But I think for this game, it being the third Donkey Kong Country game, the fifth in Rare series, I like how malleable the Kremlings are in this game, that they're just a bunch of ugly nudist freaks. I do. I like it. And I think for all of the talk, especially once we got Donkey Kong Country Returns and the do we even need crocodiles, is it ignores the fact that you can make Kremlings fit any mold you want. They come in all shapes and sizes. You can make Kremlings that fit the needs of your game, right? And that's what Rare always did. And case in point, look at these horrible characters. I love them. They're horrible, but in a very pleasing way, in my opinion. And yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a super fan. I'm biased. But I don't see the problem. I like that we got radically different Kremlings in this game. We still got K-Rool. K-Rool showed up. Surprise, K-Rool. But yeah, I'm disappointed that Recoil didn't end up in the final build of Donkey Kong 64. I would like to see some of these incorporated. That's why Barrel Blast / Jet Race having Copter as a playable character. Granted, I think Copter is like what the one Steve Mails designed in this game, so you know. But justice. We need love for Mark Stevenson's Kremlings. All right. I had to take a swig of Red Bull because talking about Kremlings is thirsty work. So they run and they jump and they play. So the game kind of spoon feeds it to you where you can stand to be safe. Or relatively safe. Oh, come on. I needed, you know what? I'm not even gonna mess around here. So for those wondering, no, I'm not going to finish Crematoa today. Crematoa is a two-parter for sure. These levels get as burly as these Kremlings. In a just world, a world where Donkey Kong could have remained as prolific as Mario, and we would have our own equivalent to a Mario Kart Tour game. What? I see the bananas. Okay, there we go. I was just... Hey, Squitter! Ah, Squitter! Unexpected Squitter. Always a good time. Bear coins are useless at this point. There is no point for bear coins except Swanky, and even Swanky mostly just pays doing bear coins. So, okay, yeah, Squitter can take them out. I forgot. Squitter can indeed take out Cuff and Cloud, and oh look, 2 up. That's very beneficial. Let's see, yeah. There's this great... Oh, and when you take out a jumping one, it becomes a charging Cuff and Cloud. He's pissed because you just took out his bro. So let's admire this, because this is a rare vantage point. We don't often see a Cuff or a Cloud, I'm sorry, sir, I don't know which one you are, in this state of being where he's lost his will to live. His brother's gone. He's just slowly going through the motions against this cave wall, but just check out that jawline. That's solid work there. And yeah, they don't look like crocodiles. They look more like iguanas or some sort of like latter-day Jurassic World dinosaur. Like, oh yeah, people were tired of Tyrannosaurus, so we genetically modified to create the ultimate dinosaur attraction. Like, shut up. Nobody's ever going to be tired of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, I get the commentary, but it's so ham-fisted. And Chris Pratt, shut up. Oh, those movies. Anyway, all I'm saying is, look at that design. It's funny, anyway. They make a funny animation when you shoot them, too. If you get it just right, it looks like they're clutching their asses. Like, ow, my asshole. You know I'm all about that. God damn, I love Squitter. I'm sorry. But it's true. Oh, the other Cuff and Cloud, or Cuff or Cloud just took off. He was just he just got out of there. I guess he just despawned, but you know, I like my more fanciful notion where he just ran away. Kind of like the Skellies in Sea of Thieves that don't want to fight you and they just flee instead. That's just right where I came from, but I'm paranoid now. I'm like, wait, what if it wasn't? What if this is a different No, it is. Oh, wasn't fast enough. This level is definitely the biggest sticking point in my Immortal Monkey run. You know, I've never even bothered with that just because I think I've explained before, but any like mode that has to be input with an out of game code, like out of the context of the game itself, like Banjo-Kazooie codes, most of the Sandcastle codes, I'm fine with because there's a context within the game for them, Cheeto and what have you. But the whole Tufts thing in this game, which I might demonstrate when we're done. Like, there might be a secondary stream where I show off all the fun little codes and what have you. But I view them as non-canon, really. I know it's the only way to get 105%, but I view it as non-canon. Sorry. It's a game alteration that isn't true to the ethos of the adventure presented to you. Then I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I know. I'm a maladjusted, hyper-obsessive. Gonna find all sorts of issues with the portrayal of Donkey and Cranky Kong in the Super Mario Brothers movie, coming April 5th now instead of April 7th. I mean, not if you live in Japan, but in most markets, that's the case. Hey, it's coin. But how am I going to... Oh, a little bit of a Crisscross Cliffs situation here. Oh, wait, no. I know what I have to do. I have to make webs. I have to be spitting webs. And I have to create the perfect platform in which to... Well, that's interesting. Alright, I think I know what I have to do. Let me wait for some of the webs to... Okay. Oh, okay. I almost had it. I just wasn't quick enough. Oh, shit. Okay, no. I need to get it to where I'm up high enough, but I can't jump into the actual cannon fire, or bazooka fire, I should say. Alright, whatever. Really want, like, stress balls for Cuff and Clow, because they look like they're fun to squeeze. Right? Anybody else think that? You want to give them a good squeeze? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment on YouTube how much you would like to squeeze Cuff and Clow. don't know why I'm struggling so much with the throwing today. I'm sorry. I did play Donkey Kong Country 2 earlier this week, so... Also maybe Clive and Wrench has thrown me off a little bit. Because that's a game where, you know, you've got a monkey on your back. Excuses, I got him. I really like the baddies in this game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody who hates the way the enemies look in this game. I think they're fun. I think they're fun additions to the Donkey Kong Rogues Gallery. And you have to keep in mind too. Look at the way Squidder's projectile webs curve. They just go right into the little alcove there. You have to keep in mind the context of when this game came out, too. This game was the 5th Donkey Kong game. 2D platforming Donkey Kong game from Rare in a span of 2 years. So, oh God help me. Alright. Wait! Okay, so Squidder can actually ride the keg like a Kong. It's interesting. So anyway, like, the fact that the Kremlings were so wildly different in this game, it felt refreshing at the time, at least to me. Because we had already gotten so many games with the Kremlings already, that just to have a different vibe to it. Okay, if I take it low enough. Oh, don't push me off, coin. Yeah, I got it. That's what I had to do. All right, I figured it out. So like nowadays, if whew, yeah, you see, I like the design here because the bonus barrel is not well hidden. However, the first thing you're going to see probably is going to be the no Squidder sign, and you're just going to maybe accidentally plow ahead. It's designed to make you sad. It's designed to make you screw up and then regret it immediately. That scream was terrifying. That was a fun little bit of nonsense right there. Anyway, yeah, when the game came out, we weren't desperate for traditional Kremlings, right? So, and there's also, this game came out, and then there was the promise. So this is, running and jumping combo. There's the promise of Donkey Kong 64, or whatever it was going to be called. We didn't know what it was going to be called. And so we knew there were like plenty of good times ahead for Donkey Kong. So to have different stuff in this, the last Super Nintendo game. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot going on right there, and my brain couldn't handle it. I think people look back at Donkey Kong Country 3 after the shit. They look back after the fact and they're like, oh, I don't like it because it doesn't fit these traditional parameters of what I associate with Rare's Donkey Kong. But at the time, it was just the annual Donkey Kong game. And with the promise of a lot more Donkey Kong games to come. Okay, I could have jumped over them there. I had enough time, but I hesitated. And, yeah, sorry. So if I stay perfectly still here, will I be okay? Yeah, I will. Alright. Cool, cool. Oh, but which way do I go? Well, not against the cavern wall. Oh. Okay. If I can hit the bananas and be perfectly still. Oh, this is just a little bullshit little treasure hoard. Okay. Nope. I do think people get more antsy about it. Obviously, in this day and age where we don't have... That's the laziest bonus barrel placement. I love it. I can't even be mad at that. I can be mad at the concept for this bonus stage, though. Holy shit. Holy shit. No. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm getting so frazzled by the cuffs and the clouts. Come on. Oh, he sat on me. He sat on my face. Yeah, when you only have one major Donkey Kong game in a decade now, not counting Donkey Kong Adventure and Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which we might end up having to count as the Switch Donkey Kong at the end of the day if the new Donkey Kong game doesn't come out until whatever the successor is. We don't know. Maybe this will come out on Switch, but woo! Got it. People are a lot more like guarded about what they want out of it. I didn't get all the bonuses. No! I have to go back in. Oh, look at that sad, drooping flag. Alright. Whatever. Cuff and clout. I'm fine spending more time with the cuffs and the clouts of the world. When else am I going to get to spend time with the cuff and clout? No. At least I can start and select now if I screw up and I don't need to just sacrifice myself. Because I'm going to want to be Squitter. I know I already did everything I can do with Squitter, presumably. But I also want to spend time with Squitter, so... Oh, or I could just die and not get to even get to Squitter. Like Tropical Freeze, people were immediately upset that the Kremlings weren't in it. And it's like, oh, you're trying a new baddie again. And the Snowmads were more successful given that they just copied a lot of the mannerisms of the Kremlings. But it's funny how people view DKC 3, which does have Kremlings, a lot of Kremlings in it. But because the Kremlings are a little bit different, they view it as this aberration of a mistake that also shouldn't be repeated. Like, if you're going to have Kremlins, make sure you have the iconic Kremlings. I'm not sure I agree there. Like, yeah, at this point, you want to bring back a lot of the, at very least, like, critters, right? Claptraps, maybe, but... Like, you don't need every single DKC1 Kremling in there. You can have new ones. You can have a little bit more esoteric ones. I think that's fine. But it would be nice to get the Donkey Kong series back to the point where the promise of releases is evergreen and we never have to like put all of our hopes and dreams into one game because who knows when the next game is going to be. I think that's why like Rambi not being in this game never bothered me as a kid. It's like, are you kidding me? A Donkey Kong game without Rambi the rhinoceros? I thought it was cool at the time. It's like, wow, that's bold. They're not going with Rambi, who is the most iconic one by virtue of, one, being in the first level of the first game, but also just the visual wildness of a gorilla or a monkey getting to ride on a rhinoceros and plow through enemies and breaking open secret passages. I mean, Rambi's iconic for a reason, and it's not just placement of... Jeez. It's not just placement of where he debuted. But, yeah, we had two Donkey Kong games a year in this early era, so... It was always neat when they would break formula. I don't know if the bonus barrel is where I think the bonus barrel is, but I'm going to need both Kongs for it. So, oh. They're really throwing me. They have irregular jumping patterns depending on which Cuff and Clout pair it is, so... And the bananas help to an extent, but then you immediately go into another Cuff and Clout, and yeah, these assholes are giving me so much problem. Okay, here we go. So up here, yeah, I was right. There's something up here. Oh God, no. Okay, they gave me a TNT barrel. Oh, I took them both out. Oh, but now I can't. Oh, well, sorry, kitty. Sorry, kitty. It had to be done. Find the coin. All right, I'll try. But it's going to be Cuff and Clouts. It's going to be that. Are you going to just put me down? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to... I know where it is. That's a good thing. But they don't put you in a good spot to re-enter it, especially if you did what I just did and you sacrificed Kitty to get up there. So wait for these to come over, these two to come over, and then quickly, okay, that's how you do it. It's amazing that, you know, Dixie doesn't have a lifetime of concussions at this point. So I do need to get the TNT barrel, but... Oh, come on. I don't even... Yeah, okay. That was just the worst possible way that could go. I'm wondering if I shouldn't even bother with the TNT barrel, because if I'm gonna, if the Cuff and Clout are going to give me problems getting around them, then I'm going to have to sacrifice a Kong anyway. And I'm just putting myself at further risk by even attempting it. I should wait until they are on the left and then fire myself up then. Oh, if the barrel would cooperate. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but I really also need to get the lay of the land for this bonus stage. All right. That's it. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't jump late enough. Okay. Okay. I know what the bonus stage is now. I know how to get up there. All I need to do is put all the pieces together. Another thing I talked about on the recent conversation I did with Jeff about the Super Mario Brothers movie is how it's going to be really good once we have the new Donkey Kong game out, and presumably a foundation for Donkey Kong going forward, where they're not reinventing the wheel every single time a new Donkey Kong game is made, or like changing it every decade, because then you can allow some more experimentation, and like DKC3 was able to do, it coming when it did in the lineage of Rare having the series. Okay, so that was really easy once you figure out what it's all about, but and yep, that's it for Tyrant Twin Tussle. Let's go talk to Boomer. We'll save. Let's give him his cog. Hey, you've got another one of those cogs. Put it on the machine and see if anything happens. No, nothing happened except the cog went on the machine. I presume we need the other cogs, Boomer, before anything happens. You idiot. She's old, that's the joke. She'll be dead in 3 years. 3 years from the canon events of this game. She's been dead for 24 years in the reality of the world. Yeah, flying monkeys. Chris says, if you can make Cuff and Cloud stress balls in the DK Vine merchandise store, I will buy some. You know, the thing is, I can only lightly graze against existing IPs. I can't completely munch from the entire field. So I think we're gonna have to leave it to Nintendo, Jack specific maybe, to make Cuff and Cloud stress balls. Pirate Kong says, I think it's a crime to squeeze someone's Cuff and Clouds. I like that bonus as the Dixie Kiddy tag can reach it, but if you're Squidder, it's much easier since you can beat the Cuff and Cloud with him. And Chris says, Scuff and Scout stress balls, you say. I think the closest route we can get is maybe like underwear that says, do the cuffs match the clouds, or do the clouds match the cuff? I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, Swoopy Salvo. We haven't seen much of this baddie either, which are Swoopies, the woodpeckers. You can already see one primed and ready to go there. Boing, yoing, 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 yoing. It's satisfying. And yeah, you can bounce on them. So that's what this level is. Swoopies, the Kremlin crew lined woodpecker. They lodge themselves into the trees. I think as far as the non-Kremlin crew affiliated, but just animal species. And oh, hello again. I wonder. No. So Squawk's eggs don't do anything to Swoopy. DK Vine's take on all of these, by the way, like Swoopy, is that they are woodpeckers who were evolved by proximity to the Kremlin source on Crocodile Isle, and they became slightly different. So a Swoopy is different than a normal woodpecker, but is still, at its essence, a woodpecker. Same thing with Naughties, Neeks, Sneaks, what have you. I think that's the cleanest way of wrapping your head around it. Zingers, you know. Buzzes, they're more laboratory creations than anything, but I think out of all of the DKC3 animal baddies, Swoopies definitely are, I think, some of the more memorable ones. I like them. I think they're good, solid design. They're exactly what a Donkey Kong baddie should be, as far as like the wildlife that fills out the enemy ranks. If you want an example of where that starts going off the rails, it's when they become less natural and they become more like the Kongs themselves, like Monocle Monica in Tropical Freeze. Just a bug with a giant monocle. It's like, no, stop. You've lost the plot here. And of course, this is a nice little showcase for Squawks too, late in the game, which of course Squawks is showcased late in Donkey Kong Country 2 was Animal Antics in the hardest little stretch of that game. So this is more of a nice little wind down for Squawks as he gets his curtain call on the Super Nintendo trilogy. Okay. I was like, how do I activate the Swoopy? And luckily, they gave you just enough time to figure it out and mess up once, so... And you get to become Squawks again, so... Cool. Cool. What's down here? Oh, was this just where I came from? Yeah, it was. Okay, I thought there was a grand little secret there. And I think I just discovered the alternate route to get to the bonus barrel. Sure. I think I like Swoopies because they have such angry faces. But it's expressed in a, like, compared to some of the other baddies in Donkey Kong games, they are not googly eyed. They don't have the just aggressive googly eyes. So they're a lot more pared down, and they feel more like actual birds. Not that I don't enjoy aggressive googly eyes. I do. I just think there's a nice balance to be had sometimes. Also, just the enormity of their beaks. They almost look like mosquitoes versus... Oh, okay, so that's what it was. It wasn't an alternate route. It was just the route, but I got confused because the buzz... It looked like I was finding a secret from the other side when I just forgotten there had been a buzz there, and that's how I got in the tree in the first place. Alright, I figured it out. I solved the mystery. It wasn't a mystery. It was me being forgetful. It was me having the short-term memory of a goldfish. And we do love goldfish, especially those with aggressive googly eyes, but in this case, I was letting all of you down, and I apologize. I'm supposed to be keeping all of this straight. Oh, a bear coin at this point in the game? I don't need it. Really like the little background details here, too. You got bananas. Just bananas in a crate, and little barrels and kegs that are non-interactable. They're just part of the background. Because why wouldn't they be, given the sheer abundance of all of these objects in this world? I like the idea that the denizens of the Northern Kremisphere, who are mostly bears, I mean, some Kongs live there. Swanky lives there now, I think, and I think Kiddy and Chunky are supposed to be from here. But I like that bananas still have agency here. Like maybe even bears like bananas in the Northern Kremisphere. Just given how plentiful they are, and I mean, Kremlings love bananas. Why wouldn't bears love bananas? See, I'm scared to go too far up. So there's swoopies coming in from that, and I could fly through that, but I don't know how. I was gonna say, if I'm quick enough, I can maybe get up there and check it out. Doesn't really help that I don't know how many bonus coins to expect in Swoopy Salvo. What I also like about Squawks, since I went on and on about how much I like the swoopy design, let me tell you what I like about Squawks. Squawks is a very simple design. There's not a lot of flash to Squawks. In fact, they took away the thing that actually gave him literal flash in the flashlight. But I think that simplicity just works for him as a character. I like that he's just this green parrot with some red and yellow mixed in. And you see Squawks. You see him in a game, and you know exactly who it is and who it's supposed to be. There's never any doubt as to Squawks. But, look, I don't know. I like all of the Animal Buddies designs, because most of them are just regular animals with big eyes. But I think that's what makes them so special. You wouldn't want them to be anything more than that, because that would take away the charm of getting to ride these animals. It's a wish fulfillment prophecy. It's fulfilling that, like, desire, that reckless, stupid desire all of us have had, whoever went to a zoo on a school field trip and wondered what it'd be like to get on a giraffe and ride it around as if it were a pony. So, could go in there, or I could try this stupid thing that I've somehow convinced myself will yield rewards. Oh, what? Oh, come on. That's got to be something, though, right? That's got to be something huge. Ah. Nope. All right. Chris says, I hope, Heil, you're not suggesting that a pig could never buy a monocle and or earn an academic qualification. I don't like Professor Chops. And no, Professor Chops, okay, I'm, at this point, 60-40, hate Professor Chops and 40% neutral to Professor Chops. Professor Chops, to me, there's this, I don't know, this immersion breaking. For me, Donkey Kong games work best when you limit how anthropomorphic most of the animals running around are. Kongs are fine because they're basically human surrogates. We're very close to apes and monkeys, evolutionarily, biologically speaking. So they fit the bill of being human surrogates. Kremlings are sort of fantasy creatures, sort of a nice foil for the Kongs, playing into the whole primate, mammal versus reptoid mythological element that's so embedded in many cultures. And they work as fantasy antagonists who also have the same level of intelligence as the Kongs, or at least capacity for intelligence. And bears, I guess, were grandfathered in thanks to this game. I was kind of on the fence about bears at first, if I'm honest. Summer of '96, I saw that there were going to be talking bears in Donkey Kong Country 3, and I was like, that might be taking things a bit too far. But it grew on me, and bears are actually not that far off from, where are the swoopies even coming from? Okay. They're just materialized it in. I don't think we're supposed to see that far to the left there. So anyway, bears eventually won me over, even before Banjo-Kazooie. And I'm not talking about Banjo-Kazooie or even games like Diddy Kong Racing, where they're not specifically mainline Donkey Kong games. But Donkey Kong 64 just went overboard with, oh, now we're going to have talking animals of all sorts. Weasel, and here's a pig with nipple piercings, and I'm gonna examine what's in here really quick because I've been trying to explore. Okay, so yeah, that's no Squawks, and oh damn it. So I do want to check out what's up there in the other tree while I can use Squawks. just need that extra hit because I don't know how I'm going to get around the twin buzzes. I mean, I can do it if I'm nimble enough, but I'm not. I'm not quick and nimble when I need to be. I just kind of bluster my way through it, like everybody's favorite background character in the Super Mario Brothers movie posters. Anyway, and you know, obviously the genie's out of the bottle. Taj is out of his lamp. There's no putting back that thing, like Snowmads and Professor Chops, and I mean it's been done, right? So Donkey Kong characters can be any type of creature, but I don't want them to get away from the notion of like wildlife either, because I feel like that really is what makes Donkey Kong so just I don't know, it just speaks to some part of our brain that makes us feel like the Kongs are surrogates for us exploring these natural landscapes. And when it just becomes, oh, here's a pig in glasses and he's a professor and he's going to tell you how to do your adventure. I don't know. It breaks that a little bit in my mind. So limit the types of characters who can interact with the Kongs, I guess is what I'm saying. And I don't want Rambi to be giving Shakespearean monologues either. Like, keep Rambi a rhino. I know, like, some media adaptations, like comics and what have you, have portrayed Rambi being fully eloquent. For me, Rambi works best when he's a dog. And that goes to most of the animal buddies. Squawks, he's a parrot. You can have a cartoony level of parrot speech where he's basically conversing with the characters, and I'll squint and I'll be fine with it. I think Retro actually toned it down a little bit from what Donkey Kong 64 had it, where Squawk just says, "Wah, puzzle," and I was like, yeah, okay, he's a parrot, sure. I'm fine with that, but when he says, "Oh, hi, Tiny. Fancy seeing you here. Let me tell you what you need to do in this section of your adventure." I'm like, wow, who taught Squawks all those words? A lot of the rot set in with Donkey Kong 64 in this series. I like a lot of elements of Donkey Kong 64, but whew, the whole overall package was not what I thought we were going to get after Donkey Kong Country 3. That's the story for another day. And look, Professor Chops kind of is grown on me as much as he probably can. I think my issue with Professor Chops was rooted in Donkey Kong Country Returns, where he was just presented as this character called Tutorial Pig. They didn't even bother naming him. To Retro's credit, they recognized how much the fans hated that, and they gave him a little bit more to work with in Tropical Freeze, including a proper name. We called him Checkpoint, because we refused to abide Tutorial Pig as a name. Why am I talking about Professor Chops? Oh, Chris sent me on the tangent. I still maintain that Professor Chops could have just been Wrinkly Kong. And yeah, maybe you don't want your big soft reboot of Donkey Kong Country leading off with Donkey Kong's dead mom, but would have also explained the Super Kong, where Wrinkly could have just possessed Donkey and Diddy and did the run through the level then. I still think that's a more clever idea than just having a white version of Donkey Kong and Diddy, who we've had to fan wank as being separate characters. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong cosplayers, essentially. Friends of Professor Chops. Because any friend of Professor Chops isn't a friend of me. Nah, I'm fine with Professor Chops, whatever. So long as we get more classic Donkey Kong characters, they can keep Professor Chops around. In fact, if Nintendo EPD does reuse Professor Chops, with their purported Donkey Kong game, I'll be like, oh, cool, they brought back Professor Chops instead of just inventing a new character. Good for them. But Engard better be in there. Alright, so... I was right. I called it. That was a bonus barrel. Haha. Oh my god. Damn it! Damn it, he just poked his... I just got done talking about how much I loved those long beaks, and what did that long beak do to me? Felled me. Well, that was the coin at least, and I think that's the primary way to get up to the coin. Yeah, it is. And that was just the halfway mark too. Holy shit. So we're gonna have to go back and get that bonus barrel. But let's try to get through the rest of Swoopy Salvo if we can. Now as the Kongs and not as Squawks. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why I did it that way. I was trying to avoid bristles, and really they're some of the least threatening baddies in the game, so... I think I like the versatility of Swoopy too. It can be a platform, a projectile. That's a good character, Swoopy. Bring back Swoopy, I say. Pierre Kong says, if I knew more about Professor Chop's personality, I think I'd be more on board with him on the same way I'm the Diddy Kong Racing cast. That's the thing. That's really the thing, right? Like, we can go on about why Professor Chops is a bad fit. He's not necessarily a bad fit. It's just the lack of world building and storytelling. When Tropical Freeze's concept art suggested that he was from Juicy Jungle, it really made me like Professor Chops a lot more. But the fact is, that's still a little bit of conjecture on the fans' part. It's us reading between the lines and trying to make better out of a bad situation. The Diddy Kong Racing cast, they were also all brand new, right? Like, everybody but Diddy was a new character in that game at the time. To us, at least. And we liked them because we were told about their personalities, about their fears, about what's driving them in this adventure. I mean, what's making them drive themselves in this adventure. And that's it. All they need to do is explain who this tutorial pig was, what motivates him, why he's helping Donkey and Diddy. And we'd be like, alright, new character, cool. But because we weren't given any of that in returns, we had to basically just stew. We had to be angry about it, especially when so many classic Donkey Kong characters didn't come back. And, I mean, to be fair to Retro, they recognize a lot of the missteps they made with Returns. And I like Returns. I think Returns is a fine game. And at the time, it was salvation for the fandom. But I don't think they recognized, and I don't think Nintendo recognized at the time, that Donkey Kong fans do tick a certain way. We tick-tock a certain way. Another classic Diddy Kong Racing character. I waited all that time and I thought I had a good opening, but apparently I didn't. So, I'm guessing... Well, there's bananas up there too. Oh, this is tricky. And I don't mean the Diddy Kong Racing dinosaur. Alright. So now I need to use the Swoopy to get back up there. Okay. So now, if I can use use the Swoopy. Ah. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. I knew I screwed it up. Deep breath. Yeah. If Retro knew, I think, and Nintendo was more cognizant of that, how Donkey Kong fans were hardwired versus, say, Mario fans, because a lot of Returns was actually consciously aping the formula of New Super Mario Brothers at the time, from the way the map screens looked to the Super Kong mode, and Retro did lurk on Donkey Kong fan sites, DK Vine included, and they answered a lot of the criticisms of the first game they made where they could. And I mean, I'm kind of amazed they did do as much as they did. So and then things, you know, like the Smash ballot showed to Nintendo how passionate Donkey Kong fans are about these characters, about how, no, actually, yeah, we're Donkey Kong fans, but we do like King K. Rool. We think he's a fun antagonist, and we would really like him to have that same, I know, respect that Bowser gets, or Ganon gets, and we made it happen, so yeah, in conclusion, I think Swoopy's a cool character. Fun little woodpecker. I can feel my skills atrophying here. I'm hitting the point where I'm making stupid mistakes because of how long I've been at it. I do really like the Crematoa levels, and I think I get so hung up on the story of Crematoa, or the lack of story, compared to the Kremlin Lost World, and it sort of clouds in my long-term recollections of this game. It definitely makes it so I don't remember how fun and challenging the Krematoa levels are. I know intellectually they're challenging, but they're pretty fun. They're pretty solid. In fact, I would argue that some of these are better than the Kremlin Lost World. I know, like, Jungle Jinx and Animal Antics are really what stick out in your mind. Maybe Black Eye Splits, but I don't know. Some of the Kremlin Lost World stages, I think they kind of pale compared to Krematoa. I'll take Tyrant Twin Tussle over the Tracker Barrel stage any day. Damn it! I think the problem is what looms largest for Krematoa is Stampede Sprint, which I like, but I can see why people wouldn't really like it since it's effectively on rails, and aside from minecart levels and their derivatives, Rare very rarely did that type of gameplay. And the Rocket Barrel level, which, not the same on-rail type Rocket Barrel levels from Retro's games, but the original Rocket Barrel level, which we might not even get to on this stream. And that might be what kicks off part 2 at the pace this is going. Part 2 of Crematoa, it'd be like part 9 of the series, but anyway. So I think people lose sight of how fun these middle levels are. Like Swoopy Salvo. Like, this is fun, this is hard, but it's fun. This is a neat stage. Where was Dixie? I heard her. Oh, all the way up here? I could hear her from that far of a distance? Okay. Alright, so here is where I completely botched it before. Is there anything there? No, just bananas. Okay. It's just pointing you the way, I guess. Oh, fuck. I should have seen that coming, considering there's swoopies everywhere. Everywhere in this level. That's the gimmick. That's the bit. Swoopy Salvo. Yeah, for all my talk about the DKC3 team's lack of vision for their end game, the levels hold up. They really do. They were designing pretty great levels up until the end. We'll see how I feel, how generous I am when I get to the rocket barrel, but right now, like, yeah, these are pretty solid. Like I say, they marry a lot of the earlier gameplay and into a fun final gauntlet of stages. I'll take this over the Minkies earlier in the game. I like the design of the Minkies, but the hit detection on their little nuts, little tree nuts they threw, wasn't always the best. At least I know exactly what to expect when a swoopy comes near. Chris says, if I knew more about Hyle's hatred of Professor Chops, I'd have arranged a Professor Chops cake to arrive on his birthday, and I still might. Again, like, Professor Chops, he reminds me of the cartoon mascots. And this might be an American thing, like, unique to the United States, given how ghoulish it is, but it reminds me of barbecue joints. They always have a cartoon pig as their mascot, which is like, yeah, this is what you're eating. Isn't it fun? And that's what Professor Chops looks like. He looks like the mascot of an American barbecue place. Damn it. Ah. Okay. Alright, so I have to... Oh my god. We're not making this easy. There we go. But yeah, I think Professor Chops can work as a character. We just need to know more about him. Alright. Like, I don't even trust that this is the end, because I can see little platforms here and there, and whatever. I'll get my cog. I know I'm not done with it anyway, and I did get the hero coin, so that's good. So let's try to get that bonus barrel that bedeviled me before. I don't know why this turned into let's shit on Professor Chops for the duration of Swoopy Salvo. As a weird direction the stream took. When I eventually do stream Returns and Tropical Freeze for DK Vine done slow playthroughs, oh boy. Oh boy. I guess to make it even, I'm just gonna have to like really talk up Swoopies. Of course, the bananas do serve as a little guiding post there, so get to the banana, you'll be safe from the onslaught of swoopies. I wasn't really paying attention to that before, because I think I know better than the game. Ah, shit. So here, I've already lost the extra squawks hit, and now I have to... Can I take out... Yeah, I can. Okay, I can fight back against the swoopy, but it's hard. It's hard because you have to line up your shots, and they keep coming, so it's easier to evade them, honestly. But I'm still here. I'm not talking. I'm just zoning out a little bit. Realize it's frustrating to be a Donkey Kong fan at times because, you know, I keep going on about, oh, I really like Swoopies. Swoopies are cool. Oh, yeah. And, you know, it's such a struggle to get any Donkey Kong character recognized in a major way. And meanwhile, we have plushies of basically every Mario baddie that's been in like, New Super Mario Bros. Onward. Alright, just let the swoopy hit me there and fly up while I'm still flickering and hope for the best. Ah! 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 Grunting helps. Ah! Oh. Ah, you okay. Ugh. Oh. Oh, I did it. Hey, I got it. I got the bonus coin. So that means if we have 24, there is only one left, which means it's probably in. No, because there has to be one more in Swoopy Salvo because the boulder still stands. Oh my God, where could it be? I pressed start and select, and I was calling it like a dumbass, but I didn't do the math. I didn't do the arithmetic. Wasn't logical about it. I was like, well, that must mean there's one more bonus coin in the Rocket Barrel stage, but Rocket Barrel Rush, I think is the name, by the way. I keep calling it the Rocket Barrel stage. But no, because of the boulder. Boomer's whole shtick about you need 25 coins. Well, don't I feel the fool? I got this one, right? Yeah. I'll do it again, whatever. Oh, well, maybe I won't do it. I'll go into it and I will fail. It's whatever. I already got it. I don't need to prove myself again. I wonder where that last bonus barrel is. I mean, I assume it's past the star barrel, right? I already got that. Now it's where the coin was too, so I can just. Oh, damn. Oh, good, a bearer coin, just what I need. Alright, so now we're past the star barrel, so we have that to fall back on. Should we die or start and select? Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching on YouTube, whether or not you would want a Professor Chop stress ball. Squeeze that little belly of his. Have him wiggle around in your hands. Create a checkpoint for your stress. See, this is as stressed as I'm gonna get today. This is where it ends. Oh, bunch of swoopies up there. Okay. I wonder. I knew it. I know the way these games think. If I don't know it at first, then I eventually know it. Oh, come on. 25 B's right there. Swoopy Salvo. So, it does upset me that I cleared Swoopy Salvo's Dixie, because I had this nice little Dixie Kiddy, Dixie thing going on. That could have been Kiddy, and then the last stage could have been Dixie, and I screwed it up. Let's give Boomer the last 25 coins he needs. Hey, you've got another one of those cogs. Put it on the machine and see if anything happens. Fancy giving me some coins then? Go on, have a go. So I also like how he says this. Hey, fancy giving me all of your money? Go on, have a go at bankrupting yourself. I mean, it's not all their money. They have bear coins, but he's not interested in bear coins. He only wants. Also, the cog is stuck. The cog icon is stuck over the bonus coin. So, no way, you crazy bear. Just because I want to see, I don't want it to be impeded. I want to see the bonus coins twirl around one last time without any cog imagery obstructing it. Let's do it, Boomer. Good one, Kongs. That's bought you one of Boomer's specials. I wish he could press the little detonator on his desk. Here we get to watch it. We can't move on the map screen, by the way, right now. So you can't, like, run into the fuse and stomp it out. Boom. So up here. Rocket Rush. And it's already got an exclamation mark, which tells you, it's supposed to tell you, hey, there are no bonus barrels in Rocket Rush. But I don't like that, because there shouldn't be an exclamation mark on there already. It should just be an exclamation mark appears when you're done. I think this is the team trying to help you out, saying, hey, you don't need to worry about it here. There's not going to be any bonus barrels to worry about, but traditionally, Donkey Kong games shouldn't have an exclamation mark right at the beginning of the level when you first arrive. Anyway, that's just me complaining. I'm a boomer now. And Wrinkly's asleep because I guess she's older than a boomer, I guess. I don't know. She was what, greatest generation? Or the generation, was there a generation between the greatest generation and the boomers? She's that middle ground there. Anyway, she's asleep. She can't stay up. Super Mario 64 bores her. All right, well, that's the stream for today. Next time on DK Vine Done Slow, Rocket Rush, and hopefully the Nautilus fight. So, I mean, we might be wrapping up. That might be the last regular DK Vine Done Slow stream for DKC3. So we'll see. But we got one more cog. We've got 2 more hero coins. There's 41 in this game. We're done with bonus coins. So yeah. Wrapping things up. Over 9 hours of gameplay. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Snapple Apple. Thank you, Angry Ancestor. Says, never found Rocket Rush as difficult as people claimed it to be. Wait until you see what I do with it next week. Thank you, FHE Atherin. I'm sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Pure Kong. Be sure to tune in to our Twitch channel this Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. GMT for DK Vine's Stream of Thieves. We'll be back on the Dreadfully Evil, getting into more mischief and mayhem on Rare's high seas. Then the Idaho crew will be streaming this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And then I will be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. GMT, as I finish out Crematoa and take to the skies, perhaps, in Funky's last vehicle in the game. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day.